three types of muscle. So we talked about this when we did tissues, so it's been a little while. Okay, so there's smooth muscle, and smooth muscle is involuntary. Okay, so you don't have to think about it to move it. It happens automatically. Okay, it's found in hollow organs and vessels. So it's found in your blood vessels, like your arteries. It's also going to be found in like your stomach, your intestines. Okay, cardiac muscle is found in your heart. Okay, and then skeletal muscle is voluntary muscle that's going to be attached to the skeleton that's going to allow us to move, and it's voluntary. Okay, now if you look, smooth muscle, it's all the cells are, they call them fusiform, so they're kind of shaped like, I don't know, like a slug maybe, pointy at both ends. Okay, but they don't have any striations, they don't have any lines. Okay, so here's where we find it. Okay, cardiac muscle, striated, has these intercalated discs so the cells can communicate with each other. And then skeletal muscle is striated, so it looks like to me like a salmon fillet. Okay, now the functions of the skeletal muscle. So one is body support. Okay, another one is it allows movement. Okay, muscles generate a lot of heat because they burn a lot of ATP, so it helps us maintain our body temperature. Okay, when we move our muscles, it helps blood get back to the heart. It helps lymph get back to the heart. So the skeletal muscle pump, remember that? Okay, they also help protect the internal organs, so it's kind of a covering over everything. They also help stabilize joints, so we're not flopping around or hurting ourselves. Okay, now, how are skeletal muscles arranged? Okay, so attachments. So a tendon, we just went over this, is a connective tissue that connects a muscle to a bone. Origin is attachment of a muscle on the stationary bone, and then the insertion is the attachment of a muscle on a bone that moves. So every muscle has an origin and an insertion. So the origin is where it's stationary, what's stationary, and the insertion is what moves. Okay, now muscles have actions. Okay, so the actions, they can be antagonistic. So if you're antagonistic, you're working against each other. And then synergistic, so you're working together to do something. Okay, let's see, sorry. Okay, now here's an example of muscle arrangement. So I don't know how I made these red, but I made them all red. Okay, so if we look, okay, so here's the biceps brachii. Okay, and here's the tendon attaching it to the bone. Okay, and here's the triceps brachii. Okay, so if we look at the triceps here, the origin is going to be on the clavicle. Okay, so that's the bone that's not moving, and the insertion is going to be on the ulna. Okay, so on the bone that is moving. Okay, so the bone that's remaining stationary is the origin, and the bone that's moving is going to be the insertion. So if we look at the biceps brachii, okay, so biceps means it's got two heads. The triceps actually has three. Okay, so two. Okay, so this would be the origin up here. Okay, so it's attached to the clavicle, and the insertion would be down here on the radius, because this is the part that's going to move. Okay, so they work antagonistically. Okay, so when we contract our biceps, our triceps relaxes. Whoops, sorry. Okay, now muscles are named. They have kind of systematic names for naming them. Okay, so we can name them by size. Okay, so the gluteus maximus, it's the biggest. The largest, maximus, it's the maximum buttock muscle. Okay, they're also named by shape. Okay, so the deltoid is actually a triangular muscle, so that's the muscle on your shoulder. So the Greek letter delta is a little triangle. They're named by location, like where they're found. So the frontalis actually covers the frontal bone of your skull. They're named according to the direction the muscle fibers run. So the rectus abdominis, that's the muscles over your abs that give you the six-pack. Okay, those muscles are rectus. Rectus means straight, so they're going straight up and down. They can be named according to their places of attachment. So the brachioradialis is attached to the brachium and the radium. Okay, so it's attached to the brachium and the radium. The number of attachments, okay, so biceps brachii has 2 attachments. Okay, and then the action, okay, so the extensor digitorum, okay, extensor digitorum extends the digits, your fingers. All right, so muscles. Okay, so if we go over this, I don't know which ones you need to know. I'll make you a list and I'll post it on Moodle, what you really need to know. Okay, so I guess this really isn't that many if you think about it. So let's just say you need to know these that are on this slide. Okay, so orbicularis oculi goes around your eye. Okay, if you squint it up, that's where you get crow's feet. Orbicularis oris, okay, and that's like a typo there. Orbicularis oris goes around your lips, that's a kissing muscle. The masseter is a chewing muscle and allows us to clench our teeth. Okay, pectoralis major is the big muscle in your chest. Okay, serratus anterior, okay, allows you to punch. Okay. External obliques are down here on the outside. Okay, allows you to rotate, to turn. Okay, let's go over here. Deltoid. Deltoids are over your shoulders. Okay, so you can move your arm up and down. Biceps brachii is going to allow you to bend your forearm. Okay, rectus abdominis. Okay, that's the one I just said. That's the 6-pack. Okay, now there's a group of muscles here that allow you to bend your wrist and hand, and that's called the flexor carpi. Okay, now a couple muscles in your lower leg. Okay, so quadriceps femoris. Okay, that's part of your quads. It allows you to raise your knee, straighten your leg. Tibialis anterior. Okay, so when you walk on your heels, it allows you to pull your foot up. Okay, extensor digitorum longus allows you to raise your toes. Sartorius is the longest muscle in your legs. Okay, and it kind of goes like a sash over here. Okay, it allows you to raise and rotate your thigh. Okay, so like if you're kicking across. Adductor longus. So adductor longus is how you move your thigh towards your body. Okay, now if we look at the back side, a couple muscles you need to know back here. Okay, trapezius, that's this big group of muscles here. Okay, latissimus dorsi. Okay, triceps brachii. Okay, extensor carpi, so that's how you're going to straighten your wrist and your hand. Gluteus maximus, biceps femoris, so that's how you're going to bend your leg from the back. And then gastrocnemius is the big calf muscle, and Achilles tendon.